Hey everyone, Summer with the Star You Send, and today is October 31st, and I finished part of my journal, my fairy journal, and I wanted to share it with you. Uh, this is kind of like I finished a section partially, and it's just in time for, Samhain. And I've already done a bunch of different Samhain stuff that I needed to do, including my black salt recipe, or my black salt ritual. So I wanted to share my journal because I started this at the beginning of October and I knew I wasn't going to get it finished, okay? But I had all of these prompts originally that I was using and I barely got any of them done because, well, it takes me forever to do things sometimes. So I only got part of them done and I just wanted to show you what I did have done. Technically, I have 3 sections in this. I'm still working on the first section and I only have half of the first section done and the second half of that first section is not done yet. So I'm going to show you the first half of that section. Now you guys saw some of this in my video when I first started this. And this was a deck, it's the Fairy Wisdoms deck that got ruined. And so I'm using it in my journal. Inside here is just my private meditation stuff from when I did this specific meditation with standing stones and meeting my fairy guide and, being safe on a journey. This right here is, I do offerings of bread for the Fae every single month. And it is peasant bread that I do, and I hand make it from scratch. This is one of my loaves that I took a picture of, and this is the recipe for my peasant bread, which you could pause and screenshot it or take a picture or write it all down or whatever you'd like to do. It's on the internet. It's really easy to find if you put peasant bread recipe inside the Google search. Okay. Again, another card from the Fairy Wisdoms, and this is just like a list of all the things that I'm hoping to do. It says autumn intentions up here, but really I'm just going to continue with them. And I have things like tree connections, altar work, read a book, meditations, connection, crafting, nature work, earthing, and experience. And I'm still working on a lot of that. I did get some of it done though. I saw this online and I took a picture of it and just added it to my book. This is my tree strings. I did a video talking about how I did the strings and added them to the trees outside and connected it to my altar. I'm also connecting these strings because these are part of the strings that I connected to the trees in my journal as well, and talked about like the meditation that I did and what I did to make that connection. This right here is my altar for the Fae for Samhain, and I just talked about what I have on it and how it works. And then, of course, Effie, my house brownie, and how my house brownie works in my system. This right here is just like a picture, like it's a mail piece of like antlers and stuff. And I saw this online. It's just a little note, talking about what she really wants. And it's it like hit home for me. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put that in my fairy journal because it just hit home for me. This is Cornelius, who I handmade, and Rochelle adopted, and his little poem for him watching over the wandering fae. He hollows out books that have been they're not books that people want generally, but he hollows them out and he uses them as surrogate homes for wandering fae or trooping fae. And I left room here for me to add more stuff to it. And then I did another fairy meditation where I used the fairy ancestor card that I had created to kind of do like a little meditation and draw some cards to meet some fae and kind of see how it goes. And the synchronicity that went with this was crazy, absolutely insane, and I loved every minute of it. And then this right here is for the wandering fae, which you guys saw part of this already, and then just my thoughts on how I work it out. And that's my middle. This is my middle section to my first signature. So I don't have anything in the rest of this signature, so I've got to fill it up. And then this is the second signature, of course, completely empty. And then the third signature, again, pretty much the same stuff. It's just completely empty. So I have to like fill it in and do all the things with it. But this is my Faerie Grimoire. And so I figure it will take me a little while to complete, because it's not like I'm putting research necessarily stuff in here. I'm putting things that I try, things that I actually do, and then the outcomes of that into this grimoire, which reminds me, I do actually have just a general journal. It's like my Faerie Commonplace journal that I started, where I have things that I'm thinking about, little stuff that I need to add in to it. I've got things that I want to read, all the different people for that, and I just have it like put in here because I don't know what else I'm going to add to that. I have quotes from Brian Froud and my thoughts on those quotes. I have, you know, just actual written out journals of different things I've done, you know, with the Fae stuff and my thoughts about it. So it's different. Like, this is different setup than this. This is complete outcomes. This is like, I did this meditation, and then the outcome is actually inside here. And I did the tree ceremony thing, and it's actually in here. So not in here, because this is more about research and this is about outcomes. So these are thoughts. These are things I'm working through, working on. It's quotes that I want to keep a hold of so I can reference back easily to them, including even like books that I'm reading. I've got like Seeking Fairy in here, which is one of the books that I read. This one is Emily Wilde, and some quotes I had from Emily Wilde. This is the Thomas Kitely, The World Guide to Gnomes, Fairies, Elves, and Other Little People, and stuff that I took from that, and Evan Wentz. It's just all stuff that goes with that, and it's kind of sporadic. It's here and there. It's got different things going on, and even, you know, like my journey into a meditation as well, but in more of a notes way rather than a outcome way. So that's all I have in there. Like, I just started it, so I'm not really sure like how it's going to go, but I was really interested in this idea of using a commonplace journal for all of my fairy stuff, because then I'd have all the quotes that I like, all the information that I find in a single book, instead of having to go through all of my books to find my favorite quotes or to find things that I thought I had written down somewhere, but I'll always know where they are when I put them in this book. So that's the goal with this. It's just a regular journal. It's not meant to be like super pretty or anything like that. It just highlights things that I needed to highlight. That's pretty much all it does. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a happy Samhain, and I will see you guys again soon. Have a very great day.